So with Philmont, there's like two primary injuries that we see: wrist injuries and ankle injuries. The wrist injuries that we see are, what did we decide this was?
Foosh. That's a
Foosh.
foosh. But
No, it's Smith.
This is a
we decided
Smith,
that's a Smith, I guess.
allegedly,
Somebody.
according to one person's Googling.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we see the Foosh wrist injury, which is somebody catching themselves as they fall. And then we see ankle injuries, rolled ankles from people not figuring out how to walk right. So those are our two primary things that we're going to splint. Anything else is gravy. So Carlos just taught y'all how to do the wrists. I'm going to do ankles. The SAM splints, ours are the bargain brand that don't have any printing on them. I don't know if y'all know this, but the BSA just recently got out of bankruptcy, so money is tight. And medical supplies are expensive. So we get the Amazon Prime special SAM splints. But on these ones, it says ankle injury like this. You can do that, that'll work. What I have learned from working at Philmont is you do, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the butterfly. So it looks like a butterfly. I don't know what it's actually called. But you take your foot of your patient, probably the uninjured one. You're gonna size it. I personally think you should size it around the shoe. And I'll talk about that here in a second. But you're gonna size it to their foot. And it works a lot better on a new SAM splint, not a one that's been bent 6,000 times. And then you're gonna fold it over like this. And then like, ooh, hang on, everybody stand back. Like this, and then fold again. Yes, origami with SAM splints. Oh yeah, this thing is done. And then like this. So it's gonna kind of look, ooh, it's gonna stab somebody. Hopefully everyone's up to date on their tetanus shots. It's gonna kind of look like this when you're done. Does that make sense? Cool, very cool. And then now it probably won't fit their shoe the right way. Actually, this one did pretty good. Oh my gosh, I blocked the videographer. Hang on. So it's gonna kind of be like mid-foot, and then up around their ankle, above their ankle, and then you're gonna size it, wrap it, and this is a little bit more supportive from what we've seen than just the like little U-shaped ankle dealy-ho, because you're now, this part right here is kind of holding the whole side of the foot, and then you're going up around the ankle. Does that make sense? And then you're not slinging and swathing an ankle. If you do, interesting. But you're still you're still checking CMS, right? You're gonna check for sensation, motor. Let's see, what am I forgetting? CMS. Sensory. Yeah, there we go.
You said sensation and sensory.
SMS.
Circulation. Circulation.
How about pulse?
Listen. That's what I said. Circulation. Whatever. So yeah, so you're gonna check that. There was a question in the last group about, do you take the shoe off? Do you leave the shoe on? I personally am gonna say leave the shoe on unless you have a reason to take it off. Two reasons. Number one, you could be an hour away from a road, so you're gonna have to hike that patient out to the roadway. Yes, they can hike, even if their ankle is rolled, they can do it. And then the second reason is that their feet are gross. 7 days without a shower, I don't want to smell that. And you're eventually going to put them in your Suburban, which is not the outside, it's an enclosed space. So bold if you take their shoe off, I guess. The other thing is if you take that shoe off, you're probably not going to get it back on, because why? Swelling, right, yeah. Something that I didn't mention when Carlos was talking, but I had the thought and then never made it come to fruition. You're going to be with this patient you might encounter the splint already applied, it's been on for an hour or two. What is the first thing that you want to do if you're coming up on a patient that has a splint on? We just talked about it.
Circulation.
Yeah, check CMS, but because why? Because it's good form.
Yeah.
But swelling. Did you mumble swelling? Swelling. Yeah, swelling. So they've been sitting there for 2 hours with that splint on. You want to make sure that it hasn't just swollen up underneath that ACE wrap, and now you know, their fingers are turning purple or whatever. That's bad. Or their toes, I guess. That was another question with the last group. If you leave the shoe on, how are you going to check CMS as well? Do your best. Can you feel me touching your toes through your boot? Can you wiggle your toes? Neat. Works good enough for me. Any tingling? No? All right. Let's get on out of here, kiddo.